leaders are leveraging digital strategies to foster innovation, boost efficiency, and champion sustainability, all while embracing an AI-driven future. As mentioned earlier by Fahmi, we are honored to be joined by an exceptional lineup of speakers whose insight and expertise will guide our conversation today. We have here Mr. Ashraf Zahiri, a visionary in digital transformation and strategic innovation, who will share on how BIM enable the AI retail environment. And then we have also Mr. Jonathan Britton, a leader in sustainable construction and smart technologies, who will talk about building trust in the AI age. And while architect Jun Chao, an advocate for integrating generative AI into architectural design, will inspire us with her perspective on generative AI in architecture. And Dr. Muhammad Faris Kamili, who came all the way from Qatar, a thought leader in construction technology and education, will share Win or Game, the AI acronym of AEC. And finally, we have Dr. Georgios Kapogiannis, which is unfortunately he's not able to be here physically, as his flight was aborted mid-air due to the war in the Middle East. He is actually a world-leading expert and researcher in digital innovation and project management in AEC. And online, later on, he will share about integration, intelligence, and innovative collaborative environment in construction. I believe that their contribution will help us navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead, and we are truly grateful for their presence and willingness to share with us and our students. I would like also to extend our heartfelt appreciation to our partners, especially that will sign the MOU with us today. SAIP Engineers from Spain and the MGB Construction and Engineering Sendirian Berhad. Your dedication for our students to advancing digital transformation in the AAC sector is both inspiring and essential. Together, let us challenge conventional thinking, explore emerging technologies, and build a future that is not only smarter, but more sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. Thank you for being here, and let's begin with this symposium. Thank you.
Right, hopefully everyone is seated and get ready. So just to let you know our tentative today, so we'll be having 5 introductory talks or specific speech about their own topics. First we have Mr. Ashraf, and then we have Mr. Jonathan, and then Architect Jun Chao will take the stage. Of course, after that, Dr. Faris. And then later we will see the online recorded session by Dr. Georgios. Okay? So without further ado, I will continue with our first session of the day. Right, we're just on cue because we will go into the idea of implementing digital innovation in a very interesting point of view. All right, as an introductory, I would like to introduce you guys to our first speaker, Mr. Ashraf Zahiri from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So basically, he's the head of digital delivery. Okay, he's also a BSI certified BIM professional, right? AWS certified solutions architect, and then also certified blockchain professionals. All right, it's good as well. All right, a little bit about him. Ashraf Zahiri is the head of digital delivery. Swan Hill is a very big company, where he also holds the role of BIM manager for various infrastructure projects, including data center, metros, and high-speed rails, highways, and also airports. His achievements includes being named from the University of named 2 Autodesk Digital Builders list in the Global 40 Under 40 Engineering Champions. Originally from Malaysia, he graduated from the University of Manchester, UK, with Masters in Engineering and Civil and Structural Engineering. Right? He's also an HRDC trainer, okay, certified AWS solutions, and also BIM Project Information Professional certification. Okay, Ashraf is very instrumental in terms of driving digital transformation within the organization and as we know it throughout throughout the world as well. All right, he ensures all the deliverables, all the projects are done with the compliance with ISO 19650 guiding professionals and organizations towards more efficient and very effective digital practices. All right? So I won't go through his all the next slide. This is what we do. These are our services. So we have sectors for buildings, marine, water, gas, BIM as well, power, industrial plants, civil infrastructure. So we really cover all construction projects, right? Variety. So recently, every company in Malaysia are also involved in data centers. So we are also involved in data centers as well. So as you know, there will be more data centers in the next 5 years in Malaysia, and digital construction is ever more important, especially information security. So just a little profile of myself, as what I have summarized before. I have involved, the first 2 years I involved in oil and gas. And then high-speed rail came along in Malaysia, so we had a project between Kuala Lumpur to Singapore high-speed rail, but then because of COVID, it got cancelled, but I was lucky enough to be able to participate in the design phase for the high-speed rail. And therefore I jumped from oil and gas and I want to do high-speed rail. From there, I then realized how important BIM is. It's a huge gap. So from the 2018 onwards, I learned a little bit more from software using, and also learning about the standardization, information management, and also project management. So I'm also lucky enough to be a trainer and also for BSI. So I get to learn and understand all different companies' constraints, just in Malaysia. I've also taught in Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Singapore, across our Asia Pacific. So I understand what is the challenges that we have in here. So today we are going to see what is the next challenge, which is AI and BIM together, and how they are integrated. So here is just a little video of those who are not understanding BIM. So just a short 2 minutes video, if we can just play. Thank you.
Growing demands, evolving expectations, and limited resources. These new realities are creating unprecedented possibilities for architecture, engineering, and construction companies. Technology is helping them to work more efficiently and more responsibly, to build cities and the future in a smarter way. And it all starts with BIM. BIM is the holistic process of creating and managing information for a built asset. Based on an intelligent model and enabled by a cloud platform, BIM integrates structured, multidisciplinary data from planning and design to building and operations. From architects, engineers, and contractors to owners and operators, everyone can collaborate remotely to create and manage projects in a better way. BIM also generates insights that empower decision-making and accelerate better project outcomes. Design teams can use computation to quickly generate and analyze multiple options, focused on results. Manufacturing processes help teams to design, optimize, and prefabricate components in factories that are then transported and installed on site using accelerated assembly methods. With design, construction, and operational data, BIM produces a dynamic, up-to-date digital representation of a physical asset. This digital twin enables informed decisions across the entire project lifecycle and sets the stage for future projects. This is BIM. It's the foundation of a digital transformation in the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. A transformation empowered by Autodesk, who is helping the designers and builders of today to shape the built environment of tomorrow.
So that's just a little snapshot. I've learned that most of you are aware about it, right? Could think and resolve their own clashes, their own issues on its own. So with me, I have also a lead engineer for mechanical from Runhill Data Center. We have a lot of design clashes as well. And how can we speed up a project and reduce the time deliver and meet the client expectation? So these are the challenges that we have at hand. But before we understand on how AI can help with BIM, with our construction industry, we need to also first understand what is BIM itself. Okay? All right, next slide. So, definition of AI. This one I learned from Autodesk. So they had a huge event last year, and they shared what is AI in terms of their opinion is the theory and the development of computer system able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence and in some cases will surpass it. So it requires information that is fast enough to process it, that you will understand what is, how does human think, and that will apply to the output of AI. All right. Okay, next. Now this one I borrowed from BSI roadmap. Sorry, that's the reason why I want to go first. So I learned this. I had a great opportunity to go to a BIM summit last year, and Jonathan presented a new roadmap for BIM, and BIM is the starting point for the goal that we're going to achieve when we want to achieve the net zero goal. I think Jonathan will share a bit later, but you can see BIM is the first step, and it's part of the smart layout plan. And in our company, Runhill, this is already part of our implementation. It's part of our roadmap to achieve a sustainable carbon neutrality goal as well. So in every public listed company like Runhill, we do have to commit in sustainability, net zero goal. So every company has a different year. So we use this roadmap as part of our goal. So a lot of our companies, they've also shared every steps have a standard, and that is the starting point. We have sent people for training. So a lot of our team are training for BS, EN, ISO 19650. I personally also have trained with BSI for AI as well, for ISO 42001. Digital twins is not yet a standard, it's still a flex. Maybe I'm updated, it's from last year framework, but information security is coming stronger, especially with data center coming along. So the footing for when it comes to digital framework, BIM is the key player. Without BIM, it's very difficult for us to achieve, to measure, to monitor, and also track when it comes to what is our contribution when it comes to, especially carbon footprint that we have contributed as well in our construction industry. All right, so next. When it comes to AI, so there is a different path when it compared to other industry when it comes to AI. Our path when it comes to AI, we have, these are probably key 5 milestones. We would like to start our what I call digital industry with parametric 3D. So that's what we've been doing with Revit, with Civil 3D, with Plant 3D that you probably have taught and learned about this software, right, that we have been using. Then we also now work into computational 3D design that's more to Dynamo. For example, if you heard Autodesk Dynamo, right? And then we move to generative 3D design. So this generative 3D design, we do, as a consumer of the product, we like to have some flexibility of the options. Then June can share that our customer is very demanding, especially the private sectors. They would like to see so many options, especially when it comes to cost efficiency. We like to venture on what we call it, engineering options and all other ways and forms and shapes that could optimize their goals in terms of their project development. So generative 3D design, when it comes to AI, is coming to be very helpful. What we learned from Autodesk, they have released formally on the generative design software called Forma, right? So that is something that we are exploring as well. Next is predictive AI. Sorry, that is in the same slide. Predictive AI is coming along as well. So the software that we are relying at the moment is very much on cloud-based solution. So we're using Autodesk Construction Cloud. There's a feature, and that is part of the predictive assessment. So picking up if there's any safety issues, potential patterns that is not going to be hazard, right, to our project. It's still an early stage, but we can see the significance of predictive AI coming along as well. What we are going to achieve and how we're going to go for AI in our construction industry is autonomous AI powered 3D design. So what it means is, like, for example, if you have a sketch, an architect loves sketches, right? You sketch. So you just imagine just an image from here, a sketch from an architect, and quickly it forms the shape of what is to be expected. It's not just from sketch to 3D design, right? For competition purposes, we need some quick solution. There will also be in reverse, image to plan, for example. So if you, for example, if you go to the site, right, and you take a picture, you want to understand what are the risks or non-compliance from the requirement. So you want the machine to learn all the contracts requirement, all that text clauses, pages and pages from the customer, and then see what is not compliant from the picture that's being taken from the site inspector, right? So that is what currently software like Autodesk is trying to gather and develop as well. So that is coming along, right? So when it comes to our construction industry, it's now beyond, what we call it, beyond just design. It's now between IT and construction is ever more closer. So you have a lot of options on where you like to go for. So like myself, I also learned about solution architect, so cloud solution architect with Amazon Web Service, and recently got a certificate for it. The reason is I would like to understand how this big data is being managed in the cloud. From the end user point of view, it's just a nice display, but we want to understand this information management behind the scene. All right, so next. So the next question that we like to answer is what makes BIM AI ready, right? So to understand what we as the industry player and graduates soon to be, right? What do we need to do to make sure our information is ready for AI? Right? When it comes to BIM, first thing that you need to understand is the key letter word BIM, the key letter is I, information. It's not about building itself, right? In my opinion, the word B here, it means like generating or creating, or in like bahasa it means like membangunkan, right? So that's probably a direct translation. It's not a physical noun, right? So it's treat B building as a verb, right? In my opinion. Information or data. So the most important letter in BIM is the letter I, information. So BIM is a process of creating and managing information. So that is the key, what we call it, understanding. So when you have that in front of you, you then understand what is the AI dependency with BIM. All right? Okay, next. So this is a single snapshot. So this is from BSI as well, and it is just a really nice diagram to summarize in our industry of a whole project lifecycle and asset lifecycle. So you can see information is being created from inception, right, to tender stage, to appointment, and then once the project is being awarded, the developer or the lead appointed party will then need to develop plans, and once the plan has been approved, right, so then it will create and start the project through multiple stages and multiple stakeholders. Different milestones have different decision makers, right? And we as industry player need to understand the level of information need, right? Or what is popular in our industry is the level of development, for example, 200, 300, 400, 500, so forth, right? So each milestone will have an information exchange point where each party will have to agree on what is the level of quality that's being accepted. And then once the construction is completed, right, then there will be a handover between project information model, PIM, to asset information model, AIM. So that information continue to grow during asset, right? At the end of life, it could be demolition, it could be renovation. That information starts again, and a whole project life cycle starts and builds on. So all this information needs to be contained securely, right, within a secure common data environment, or CDE, right? In our company, we chose Autodesk Construction Cloud, right? So it is a popular software cloud solution provider, and we are ensuring and advising the customer on how this information can be developed and secured and grow effectively within the common data environment. Right, so the trend that was coming along in last year as well, I think back in 2 years ago, it is on integrated digital delivery. So this is introduced in Singapore. So what they have summarized is that when it comes to integrated digital delivery, you will have a digital design from all the concept, proposals, and also then move to digital fabrication, digital construction, and also asset management as well. So there was also DFMA, right? So in Malaysia, it's called IBS, right? And next slide. And then also digital twin. So most of you are familiar. So digital twin is a physical representation matched up with a digital representation as well. Okay, next. Now, when it comes to BIM AI readiness, so these are the key things that need to be, what I call key items that need to be aware of. We need to have a clean data, classified. So this is what we are struggling with. A lot of data is out there, but it's not standard, so it's not categorized properly. So with ISO 19650, right, we have a guidance on how to make sure information exchanges are standardized and classified. So in Malaysia, we use SCATA, so System Code Asset Ta'alih, right? So that is the government code of classification for government projects. In UK, they call it Uniclass by NPS. In America, they call Omniclass, right? So that is the standardization. Interoperability is also important, ensuring that information exchanges are standardized. So IFC classes are important too. Cloud-based collaboration is also the foundation. So if you want to have scalability with AI, with BIM, you do need to move information within a cloud platform. Okay. So the last question that we all need to understand and answer is your digital strategy just about tools or about transformation? So to build on here, if you go to the next slide, we need to have a digital agile mindset. So having this meaning that you need to have these certain traits. You need to have adaptability, you need to be empowered in collaboration, you need to have you need to learn from your mistakes as well, and also data-driven decisions. So you need to have a quick decision with all the insights that you have as well. All right, next. This is also a blueprint that I learned from BSI as well. A quick one that you want to have a culture in your team, in your organization. You need to have all this stuff. You need to have vision, skills, incentives, resources, or action plan. Right? Without that, you will not have a clear, a change management. All right. So next. So this is one of the last slides that I would like to share. The mindset that we need to set for all industry players today is not just model-based. We need to understand where this information is being organized. In our industry, this is what I'm sharing to you, and you're not able to find this online. With the knowledge from Amazon Web Service and also blockchain and also BSI, ISO 19650, this is how I layer it. So in our industry, we have to think data into 3 different tiers. So there is a data storage tier, there is an application logic tier, there's also a web presentation tier. For everybody, and the end user, you only see the presentation, which is the display AI results, right? So the tools that you wanted. And of course, the data will be compliant to the ISO, right? But the application logic that is being built on for AI, there will be model coordination, there's access control, and there's also workflow automation too. So this is a snapshot of a data architecture layer, right? So next. So these are some of the available tools out there. So as I mentioned, we also are now exploring Autodesk Forma as part of our AI tools, and there's so many options that you can see and explore as well. All right. And lastly, I would like to share to you when it comes to think about BIM, I would like to share the last slide that you have to have the end in mind. So you need to see where you are working with, where your target goals. Then you work backward and understand what you like to achieve and how your information is to be managed throughout your project lifecycle and your asset lifecycle. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's very refreshing and very usable. The most important part is right? Because I've involved with a lot of professionals out there that wants to personalize their first alphabets. You know, with Bridge Engineer, they call it BRIM. For Asset Management System, they use AIM, but they are still maintaining that I. Right? That means that the I is very important, which is information. All right, not to stretch the session, so I will straight away go to our second speaker of the day, Mr. Jonathan Bratton from Singapore and in the future, hopefully in Malaysia. Okay, so as a side note, I welcome you to Malaysia. right? And I hope to see you a lot more in the future, perhaps. Okay, just a bit about him. I won't go again. His credential is just too much for me to have half a day to talk about your achievements. Right, so he's the global director of built environment in BSI. Okay, with over 15 years of experience in leading marketing and business development strategies of global water and construction industries. I'm really eager to learn about your passion about creating a positive change and enhancing the development and technology in built environment. And what more can I say? I welcome you to the stage and I give you the mic.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, and thank you for having me in this beautiful campus. I think you guys are very lucky to study here. I was actually asking them, if I can study again and come here because it's really, really impressive. So my name is Jonathan from BSI, and it was really good to hear about, BSI mentioned, a couple of times. Thank you, Ashraf. He's actually one of our best trainers for BIM. But he's absolutely right. BIM is really the foundation of pretty much everything that we are doing. Before moving into everybody's talk, before moving to AI or digital twin, BIM is really, really important. But today, my topic will not be about technology. It will be a bit different. I will talk about trust, basically, and how can we adapt it, and how can we ensure that, trust in AI help us or support, the jobs that we are doing and not undermine it in the built environment. So for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you what is the global picture, what are the regional trends. We will look at Malaysia, we look at specifically the built environment, and then again we will look at some of the standards and why this is very important. One of them is the 42K. You could also, I don't know if you remember, but on a triangle that was just presented to you, it's also at the foundation, basically after it. So thanks again, and next slide, please. All right, that's a bit small from here. So what you can see here, basically, is that AI is not a new concept. In fact, it's 75 years old. The concept was dated from the 1950s, when you had a couple of pioneers. One of them is Alan Turing, that came up with the famous question, can machine think? So at that time, and you can see from the 50s to the 80s, so we had a lot of optimism, a lot of progress, a lot of funding for AI, followed by what we call, you can see the drop, we call that the AI winter. So what basically happened, all the funding, all the progress, all the interest dried up. And do you know why it dried up? What was the main reason? So the main reason here was lack of trust. So obviously when people do not trust AI, they do not want to use it, they do not want to implement it. So today's discussion, once again, it's not about people, it's not about technology, it's about people, it's about compliance, safety, and regulation. And confidence is extremely important. So it's not about what AI can do. I think on technology, you will hear from a lot of experts today that are more qualified than me. It's really about how, how we should use it, which will be ethically and responsibly. Next, please, Bruce. All right, so I'd like to start with one concept that is extremely important. It's called digital trust. So what is trust? It's basically the confidence that people, organization, institution have in digital technologies. And when you think about digital trust, it's about cybersecurity, data governance, data quality, and AI ethics is now a big topic also when we talk about digital trust. So at the end of the day, trust is non-negotiable, because without trust, company cannot scale up AI. They will just stay at a pilot phase model. People won't use it, and regulators, for example, in Malaysia, they won't adopt it. So it's really something that is that is critical in order to implement and adopt AI in a particular country. So what is your expectation when it comes to AI? So, expectations are really growing. And if you look at all those expectations, what you can see is we expect AI to be fair, to be safe, to be private, to be secured. So we have a lot of expectation, but sometimes it falls a little bit short. So what we see today is that the gap expectation between what AI can do or what AI is promising and what it delivers is one of the biggest challenges. And you can see this sentence at the bottom. Do we trust AI to basically make life-altering decisions even if we don't fully understand it? Next, please. I will now talk about the risk. So some of the risks, so this is coming from a survey that BSI did over 900 business leaders in many different countries. What you can see here is that AI project failure rate is still very high. So what we can see is 60 to 80% failure rate according to experts and the different sources that we have. 40%, 45% increase in publication when it comes to algorithm fairness concerns. Then, of course, safety is a big challenge. When 58% of the surveyed researchers believe that AI system safety is not properly addressed. When we look at trust, again, only 36% trust AI decision making in professional setting. It's quite worrying. And on the ethical concern, 20% of the public believe that the current AI regulation are not enough. Next. So here is one more, yeah, okay. Here is some of the examples, and I will not go through all of those in detail, but you all have heard about, those AI self-driving cars causing accidents, wrongful arrest by the police based on wrong facial recognition. There are a lot of examples also with, bias against women, for example, in an Amazon recruiting tool. What you can see on the left-hand side is basically, it's called Zillow. It's a platform that used an AI model, and that model underestimated property prices, which led, of course, to a massive increase of purchases. This AI model, they lost $600 million, and then they had to lay off 25% of their workforce. The example that you can see on the right